Wondering about your view of fintech, for lack of a better term, because I think it's an imperfect term, but it is kind of overrepresented in a lot of these companies that have been poised to come and have already come public. And is it something that actually seems like, these companies have a genuine edge? They're solving a problem that's really out there? Or is it just kind of, the same kind of product with a new software and interface?
I think that these companies have demonstrated that they have unique value propositions and are solving real problems for customers. I think why you're seeing a lot of fintech companies go public now is because fintech was a real hot area of investment on the private side back in 2018 through 2021, 2022, and these companies are now just maturing and getting out.
Where are you seeing the most competition in terms of dollars, where you put your money, Scott, on the private side right now? I mean, is it all AI? I mean, where do you see the most sort of competition to put your dollar versus somebody else?
It's AI. I mean, this is, without a doubt, I would say this is probably going to be the greatest period of value creation the tech industry has ever seen, and it's going to be driven by AI. These companies are pursuing markets that are dramatically bigger than the markets that the cloud and mobile companies that power tech investing over the last 15 years were pursuing. They're growing really quickly, and they're doing it really efficiently. So I am incredibly bullish about the future of tech and also kind of the IPO pipeline in the future. They'll be driven, I think, a lot by these AI companies.
What are the areas when you see these AI-driven companies that are targeting these big markets? Who holds those markets right now? I mean, you're starting to see, obviously, pockets of weakness in things like IT services, publicly traded software of certain types. So where are they actually attacking?
No, I think anywhere where you see a collection of humans performing tasks, maybe some data manipulation or monitoring, I think those things are likely to be impacted by AI. Clearly, coding and the number of developers out there, I think, could be impacted by what's happening in the trends in AI. And so, all those areas. But I also think there's a whole set of areas which have never really been addressed by software companies in the past because you really couldn't build meaningful businesses attacking these markets. Now we can go after these vertical markets, and because we're delivering productivity gains in meaningful ways, we can charge a lot for the services these companies are delivering, and therefore create big markets out of what historically hasn't been really big opportunity.
Scott, earlier in the week, the conversation was all around, is AI adoption actually slowing? And I'm wondering, from your standpoint, what are sort of the data points, the metrics that you look at to make sure that that AI story is, in fact, intact? I mean, Oracle last night, that was a huge, point on the positive side of the ledger. But what do you look at?
I mean, look, the reality is you can look at anecdote after anecdote of public company where they're talking about how AI is accelerating their businesses. And the reality is, we're so early in all of this. I think that AI is going to impact every company that's listed on these public exchanges in some meaningful way by driving productivity gains. And we're at the very early stages of that happening. And so I'm really bullish. I do think one thing that we have to keep an eye on is there's a lot of experimentation happening by companies now that are investing in AI. And some of that is going to turn into real dollars over time. Some of that might go away. So we have to kind of pick and choose through that. But I think that the future is incredibly bright here.
All right, Scott, great to see you. Thank you. Scott Raney, Redpoint Ventures.